All right, guys, here is your quiz for today. I'm going to go over a few of them with you just to get your brains back in the mode of how to graph, how to write as equations. Go ahead and write down as many of these together as we can in your notebooks and then upload your quiz. All right, number 1 and 2. Find the slope and the y-intercept of the graph of the linear equation. So they're just saying, look at these equations. What is the slope? What is the y-intercept? I am not going to do these two with you because I feel like you guys can do that very easily. Do we agree? Okay. Let's go on then. 3 and 4. Find the x and the y-intercepts of these equations. These equations are not in slope-intercept form. They are in a different type of form. Do you remember what it's called? We learned it yesterday. Standard form. Good. Standard form was ax plus by equals c. Good. If I wanted to find the x intercept and the y-intercept of a graph, Ben was telling us yesterday, you plug in a 0 for the opposite thing you want to find, right? Let's do one of these together. Let's do do you want to do number 3? Okay, we'll do number 3. Okay, if I wanted to find the x-intercept, who do I plug 0 in for?
The y.
The y. If I plug 0 in right here, what's 4 times 0? 0. Is this completely gone? Yes. Now I'm just left with 3x equals 24. How do I solve for x?
Divide by 3.
Divide by 3. Divide by 3. What's 24 divided by 3?
8.
X equals?
8.
8. Now I'm going to erase my markings here because I need to reuse my equation. If I want to now find the y-intercept, what do I do?
You do the same thing but for the x. Yeah,
Good. Put a 0 in for the x. That makes it go away. Now be careful. That doesn't make the minus sign go away. Agreed? Because that's actually negative 4. Y. Now how do I get rid of the negative 4?
Divide by.
Very good. What is 24 divided by negative 4?
Negative 6.
Very good. Negative 6. Now, number 3 does not say, number 3 and 4 does not say to then go graph it. All it wants you to do is tell me what is the x-intercept and what is the y-intercept. That is it. Okay? So that's your answer for number 3. Number 4, do the same thing. To find the x, you plug in a 0 for the y. To find the y, you plug in a 0 for the x. Okay? Any questions on those two? All right, we'll move on. Number 5, you spend $40 on a meal for you and your friends. Graph this equation, 2y plus 5x equals 40, where x is the number of sandwiches and y is the number of beverages purchased. Interpret the intercepts. So, what kind of form is this equation in? Is it in slope-intercept form or is it in standard form?
Neither. I know, it's y equals mx plus b.
Is that y equals mx plus b?
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
2y plus 5x equals 40.
So does that look like this? Y equals mx plus b? Or does that look like ax plus by equals c?
The x is, the a is, the y is in front.
So you're saying because these two are swapped places, it doesn't look like this one, right?
Yeah.
But isn't addition, order doesn't matter?
Mm-hmm.
True. So which one does it look more like? Does this equation look more like slope-intercept form or standard form?
Standard.
It does look like standard form. Now we know that when I'm solving for standard form, all I'm finding are an x and a y-intercept, agreed?
Mm-hmm.
What is the x-intercept and the y-intercept? If I want to find the x-intercept, what do I do?
0 to 2.
Good job. So that makes this go bye-bye.
And then divide by 5.
Divide by 5. Divide by 5.
Answer is 8. Yeah.
Good. Now I'm going to erase my markings. If I want to find the y, what do I do?
0 for 5.
0 for the 5.
The answer is 20.
Divide by 2. Divide by 2. Answer is 20. Okay. So part A says graph the equation. How do I now graph it now that I found my intercepts?
Go up.
Up 8 or over 8?
Over 8.
Very good. Now, does it look like I'm going to have 20 lines on my y-axis?
Can you just do like 10? Or like
Could I go by 2s?
2s, I mean.
Should we try that? Let's see how many I would have. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'm not going to have enough, am I? How about we go by, can we go by 4s?
4, 8, 12, 16, 20, yeah.
And then I could also go by 4s on my x-axis, right? Okay, so if I go by 4s, this would be 4, 8, what's next?
12, 16, 20.
Okay, and then this way, same thing. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Now can I easily go put my dots? Sure. Let's put a dot on the 8 and a dot on the 20. Now, how do I graph this? This is a trick question. It's super easy. What do I do?
You just draw a line.
Yeah, just draw me a line through it. Boop. Okay, so that's part A. Part A is done. You're going to have to draw that grid in your notebook. I'm sorry. Interpret the intercepts. The word interpret means what? What's an interpreter do?
They translate.
Translate it. They explain it in a different way, right? Maybe in a different language, maybe in a different, I don't know. But interpret, explain what the intercepts are. So for example, it says X is the number of
1.
sandwiches. Y is the number of beverages. So when I say interpret the intercepts, I'm saying 8 what?
8 beverages and Y 20. Or
X is the number of
8 sandwiches and 20
Good.
beverages. There we go.
and then Y, which is 9. Oh, sorry, 9. 20 beverages. That's what it means by interpret the intercepts, okay? Okay. All right, 6 and 7, write an equation in slope-intercept form. These are actually not so bad. Do you remember we talked about the steps yesterday? Like step number 1. Do you remember?
Oh, you
Find the Y. Awesome. Number 6, let's do it together. What is the Y-intercept? -1. So I'm going to write -1. It's going to be my B, right? Step number 2, find the next point up the line in the crosshairs. So I'm going to look. It looks like it's right here. They tried tricking us by putting this one way up here. But do you see how this point is the next one on the crosshairs?
Yeah.
What's step number 3?
Find the
Rise over run. The slope. Very good. What is the rise over run? 1, 2?
2 over 1.
Over 1. Now, that sure as heck does not look like an equation. What am I missing?
Y equals
and X
and X. Yeah.
plus 1.
You could put +1. You could just say -1, but +1 looks nice too. Okay? That's all you have to do. Follow those steps to get me an equation. Okay? I want you guys to try 7 on your own. We're not doing 8 and 9. Those are from 4.7, and we're skipping 4.7. Okay? 10 and 11. Write the slope-intercept form. Psst, which equation is that?
X1 plus
Oh, you're thinking of how to find slope, which is good. I want you to remember that. But
Isn't it A?
what is the equation for slope-intercept form?
A X. No.
Y equals mx plus b.
Uh.
I want you guys to make me a y equals mx plus b equation given these 2 points. Okay? The first thing I want to do is what, Tegan?
X1
x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay,
X2 minus X1.
you're close. What do we do on the top of the equation first? Y's first. So it's going to be -1. It's y2 minus y1 over x2. What is x2?
4
Minus,
-3.
good. What is -1 minus -1?
0.
Good. I don't even have to continue on. If there's a 0 in the numerator, what's my slope?
0.
Nothing.
My slope is 0, correct?
0 over 0.
So in my equation, y equals mx plus b, which of those is slope? M, b, or y, or x? M. So now do I know what m is?
Yes.
It's 0. Now I have to go find my y-intercept. How can I find the y-intercept? I'm going to go ahead and erase.
Would you do what you did for what you did above the 0? You plug this 0 in?
Not quite, because that would be for standard form. That's a good thought, though. But what I would like you guys to do is to just go ahead and graph these 2 points.
What?
I'll do it for you right here. -3, -1. So I go over back 3, down 1. Can you guys see this okay? Should I zoom in? 4, I'm going to get this out of the way. 4, -1, over 4, up 1. Where is it touching the y-intercept?
Why'd you go up 1 second?
Oh, thank you, Ben. I'm glad you caught that. It's over 4, down 1. That changes everything. If I could draw straight, these 2 points are supposed to be going through this 1, right?
I was confused. I was like, wait, why?
And it makes sense that way too, right, Ben? Because what's the slope supposed to be?
It's supposed to be
0.
0. And isn't a line with a slope of 0 flat?
Yeah.
Okay, so it makes more sense this way. I'm really glad Ben caught that. Thank you. Now, what is the y-intercept?
-1.
-1. I'm going to go back up here. So now I've found my b. My b is -1. So what's my final equation? It's going to be y equals 0x plus -1. That was a lot of work to solve that. But let me review what we did. First, we did what Tegan said. Find the slope by taking x1, y1, x2, y2, subtracting the y's, subtracting the x's, right? And that's how we found slope. Then we graphed it so that then you could find the y-intercept. Once we had the slope and once we had the y-intercept, we could plug it in and make this cool equation. Okay? I want you to do the same thing for 11 on your own, okay? And see if you can do it. And that is it. That is the whole quiz because I took out number 12 as well. Okay? Let me erase some of my markings on here. I will upload this quiz. I want you to do it on your notebook paper, and I need you to upload your quiz. I know you're in class, some of you, but you still need to upload it online so that I have all the quizzes in one spot, okay? Make sense? Okay, I will go ahead and upload this, and you guys can get started.